This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by All-Star Vacation Homes. And on your next trip to Walt Disney World, when your friends actually show up for it, you and your friends and your family, in fact, if you're bringing them as well, can have lots of great amenities that a typical All-Star Vacation Home has, like private bedrooms for everybody, like private pool just for you guys, and lots of other wonderful amenities, full kitchen, living room, dining room, all the space that you'll ever need. And you know what? It's for a fraction of the price that you'd pay ordinarily. Check them out online. Visit All-Star Vacation Homes at www.allstarvacationhomes.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, August 27th, 2009, and this is episode 610 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hochberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is nobody. That's right, nobody decided to show up to record today, and we got to put a show out. So, as you can tell, I am the dedicated one. I mean, sure, some of our listeners decided to go sing Kumbaya around the fireplace in the middle of who knows where in Wyoming, and others, I don't know where they disappeared to. So, we can only assume that they're hard at work, just neglecting their other duties. But at any rate, we do have a show for you today, and today's show actually focuses around the Toy Story Midway Mania secrets. And by now, I'm sure many of you have actually had a chance to ride Toy Story Midway Mania. No doubt you probably never rode about it one time because the wait was prohibitively long. But you know what? After you've ridden it a few times, you might notice, say, Matt, how do I get a better score on this? Because, I'm not, when you go through it, you'll see some high scores over on the high score list after you're done playing, and you look at your score and you say, wow, there's quite a difference there. I mean, what are you missing? Well, it's not just shooting lots more stuff than you're doing. There's actually secrets to the game. And, it's a little more complex than, say, Buzz Lightyear, because I'm sure many people would think of Buzz Lightyear, know that if you shoot, I believe there was one behind the robot, the mechanical robot, if you shoot, like, behind him, his claw thing or his arm, and anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a little more complicated than that. So I'm going to go through the different secrets of Toy Story Midway Mania and kind of give you a rundown on them. And before you start going crazy trying to get something to write, get a piece of paper and a pen, Katie and Ed, I mean, all these are actually online, so you can take a look at them later, so you can print them out, and that way you'll be able to do this. I will say, though, some are much easier than others to accomplish, and the ones that really generate the best score are the ones that require teamwork. It requires you and the other person in there to be cooperating, and for both of you to be talented at it, meaning you're going to have both decent accuracy at the game, because it's going to require that kind of skill in order to score high on this. So let's get started. The first scene is the ham and eggs, and this one's probably the easiest one to do, and this one I do all the time, and it's guaranteed the best point. So what you're going to do is you're going to get to the scene over there, and this unfortunately only works for one person. So if you've got two people in there, tell your other friend that they can shoot anything else in the scene except for this one part. But this is how one person at least can get the best score in the game. In this scene, what you're going to want to do is when you get to the scene, there's a hen house in the bottom right or left corner of the screen. Depends on which screen you're at, but there's one definitely in the bottom portion of the screen, and one in the corners. And on top of the hen house is a fox, and basically all you have to do is shoot the fox that's on top of the hen house, and he's worth 500 points, and then shoot the hens or the chickens that come out of the hen house. They come out very quickly, and they range from about 1,000 to 2,000 points each. Now, basically the sequence is shoot fox, 3 chickens come out, and then repeat. And you're going to do that the entire round. And if you do it right, if you start right away, don't miss any, just keep shooting. I mean, really, don't ever stop. You should get to about 26,000 points just for round 1. And that'll put you in a really great spot. And again, this is the easiest tip of them all. Let's move on to the next scene. There's nothing else in Ham and Eggs that I've discovered yet. And the next one is Bo Peep's Balloon Pop. That was probably the worst lamb impersonation ever. But anyway, this one requires, again, some more teamwork. This is the first time you're going to need teamwork here. And there's going to be 2 clouds, one in the top left corner, one in the top right corner. And when you shoot them, you get sprayed with water, but that's not really the secret here. What you're going to want to do is there's about, I think, 5 balloons on each cloud. And you and your teammate should start out immediately shooting the balloons on these clouds until you have 1 left on each cloud. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to shoot, both of you, at the same time, the last balloon on each cloud, respectively. Now, there's a little bit of lead time. If one of you shoots the last one, and then you got about a second or two to shoot the other one, the last one. So you basically have to have them all gone at the same time, in which case, the balloons that come down from the sky will be worth I believe they're worth like 2,000 points or so. And there's like just a cavalcade of them. So as soon as they start coming down, they're rainbow colored. You'll shoot them. This differs if you from the regular part of the game. Because in the regular part of the game, if you just shoot one of the all the balloons off one of the clouds, you just get balloons that come down. I think they're worth about 500 points. So this is worth quite a bit more for you. And again, it just requires you to both basically finish off each cloud at the same time. Basically, you just have to get the last one at the same time. It doesn't matter if you're not quite on sequence for the other first four. The other secret for Bo Peep's Balloon Pop is this is for one person. You can just shoot the low point flowers, which release high point bees. So once you get rid of the clouds, you're going to want to then focus on shooting the flowers, which release the bees, which you're going to want to shoot, and then as well just shoot everything in there really to kind of get a really good score there for this one. All right, next up is the Green Army Men Shoot Camp, and this one's again in terms of difficulty. The cloud one is pretty simple to do with two people. In fact, I've been able to kind of fake it with one, just myself when I've ridden by myself, and you kind of shoot them all and leave one on each, and then you shoot one, and then you quickly shoot the other one. But this one requires two people for sure. And what you're going to want to do is when you first start the round there'll be two plates that are worth 2,000 points that shoot up in the air at the same time on opposite sides of the screen. So this is going to require you to have knowledge of the game itself and have a good idea of how the game's going to work. So again, the two plates shoot up at the same time, and what you're going to want to do is shoot the plates at the same time. So both you and your teammate are going to shoot that first plate that shoots up at the same time, and if you both do it successfully, there'll be a slew of other plates that will appear for really high point values, and that should set you off pretty well. The other strategy, general strategy for this round, if you screw that up or you just want something good to do, try shooting the tanks. There's two tanks that kind of set up as soon as the round begins, and there's plates next to them. If you shoot the plate next to the tank shoots at you. And what you're going to want to do, if you just alternate between shooting each tank on either side and then shooting a bunch of different plates that are lined up, you should do pretty well in that round. Now the next one, this one is definitely by far the most difficult secret in all of Toy Story Midway Mania. And this one requires not only two people, it requires two really good players because it's very difficult to accomplish. And frankly, I haven't even gotten this to work. Although I do know it works, people have reported that it works, I just haven't had the right player to do it. But this is in Buzz Lightyear's Flying Tossers. And what you're going to want to do, and I'm going to make sure I read this verbatim so I don't get this wrong here. When you're looking at the screen, there's an alien ship, and this is the part right in front of you, smack dab in the center. And there's 8 aliens, and they're worth 100 each. And if you can hit each alien at the same time, not the same time, but I mean, get all 8 aliens to be down, getting rid of them, before one of them can respawn. So basically, if there's 8, you gotta, it's got a whack-a-mole kind of thing. As soon as you hit one, it disappears for a couple seconds. If you and your teammate can quickly, just flood the spaceship with rings and get them all to be gone at the same time, the ship launches to reveal a monster who opens his mouth, and then you can fire your rings into his mouth for 500 and then 1,000 points a shot. And you can keep redoing this all at the same time, and really, this really does a wonderful opportunity for you to really score some big points. And this one's probably where you'll make the biggest amount of points of all the secrets over here. It's also the most difficult. While the monster reloads, of course, shoot on the sides. There's those rockets that are worth 1,000, 2,000, or 5,000 points. This is a good general strategy for the round anyway. But you're going to want to definitely make sure you have a lot of practice for this part because it's very difficult to accomplish. And it's something that you really have to be able to get right off when you start. Otherwise, it's just a waste if you don't get it within the first, maybe 20, 30 seconds. All right, so this moves us on to the last scene, and this is Woody's Rootin' Tootin' Shootin' Gallery. And basically, in this part, this is a good opportunity for, again, both you and your teammate to work here together. In the beginning of the round, there are a number of targets. This is actually, remember, of course, there's 3 parts of this round. The first part, there are a number of targets, and when you shoot them, they spawn new targets. And then you shoot all the different targets around there. If you and your roommate can shoot each target once, teammate, I don't know where I got roommate from. If you and your teammate can shoot each target once, then each target will disappear, and the screen will explode to reveal new bullseyes worth 1,000 and 2,000 points. So this, again, good teamwork to get this part going. Some other ones over here, and this is good. Now, this goes back to solo. These are solo tips, so this is for just you to work here. This one is in the second. Well, I guess it's really the third part. But this is when you're the minecart scene, where the minecarts are coming towards you. So this is what you're going to do. As soon as you get to the minecart scene, you're going to want to shoot the first 2 minecarts. There's 2 rows of minecarts that come at you per player. So you're going to shoot the first 2 that come at you. Then quickly right above the minecarts, there's a bat. And shoot the bat, and the bat flips around. Shoot the bat one more time. Because the first time he's worth 1,000. The second time he's worth about 2,000 or 5,000. I can't remember exactly. I think 5,000. And then after you hit him again, go right back to immediately shooting the minecarts. And by doing the bat thing, by shooting the bats, the minecarts that come out from that point on will be worth about 5,000 points. And then in the finale, obviously this isn't a huge secret. You're just going to shoot that huge target as many times as possible. And then one more thing, going back to the original scene, the first scene in the beginning of the round for the shooting gallery. If you shoot a plunger in the saloon doors, a bunny will pop out. And so about 8 targets on top of the building. 4 are worth 500, and the others are worth 1,000. So basically, what you need to be doing is ensuring that everything, you have to really, in order to get these high scores, you have to nail all of these I just mentioned over here in order to really do it. And it's quite difficult, to tell you the truth. Some of these I've been able to do, others I just haven't had it. It requires a lot of coordination, because not only from you, but from whom you're working with in order to get really high scores. But if you do it well, and if you do these well, you'll be able to really get some very high scores. In fact, if you only accomplish maybe 2 or 3 of these, you'll easily get some very high scores. I know that personally, ones that I do, I always do the shooting the fox on the henhouse in the ham and egg scene. The Green Army Men, I shoot the tank strategy I mentioned earlier. The balloon pop, I do the clouds. And then the bat in the Root and Tune shooting gallery, and that alone gets me about 200,000 points usually, assuming that I do halfway decent at it. And I don't mess up the flying tossers part. And that's really the key over there. I mean, I think some other general strategies you want to keep in mind. There's a lot of things that, if you're not doing these secrets, you just want to kind of shoot there. Keep in mind that while you might see like all the way in the back of the map, something worth 2,000 or 5,000 points, what you're going to want to keep in mind is if you're spending 30 seconds trying to nail it, it's not worth it. You're much better off getting the 2 or 500 point targets and nailing those, in that 30-second span for a lot more, and you'll probably end up a lot more ahead. Don't worry about your accuracy. Accuracy, I know it shows you what your accuracy, it really doesn't mean anything. You should always be shooting. Never stop shooting, because that just wastes opportunity. Even if you're hitting something that's only worth 100 points, you know what? It's better than hitting nothing. So you're going to want to make sure you're shooting all the time. You're going to want to make sure you're not wasting too much time on the high value targets that are just hard to get. And again, a lot of this comes back to practice. You're going to need to be able to ride this many times. If anyone's going to the Tower of Terror race and you're going to the party, it's a great opportunity to ride it, because there's hardly any lines there, and you can really ride that thing a couple different times. Get on your shoulder will kill you. And other than that, I mean, in terms of people ask me, the only thing people ask me is, of course, how do you deal with the bum shoulder that you get? When you're playing this and your shoulder or your arm hurts. The best thing I can tell you is during the first practice scene, don't shoot. Just sit there, and it doesn't matter. It's just for people who haven't played before. Rest your arm there. And then between rounds, just do some exercises with your arms. I mean, literally swing your arms around kind of like pitchers do in baseball, that windmill fashion within the confines of the vehicle, obviously. And that probably is going to get you a decent, it's not going to, I mean, trust me, by the end, your arm is going to be really barking at you. But what you want to be able to do is in that final scene when you've got that target where all you have to do is hit it as fast as you can, you're going to want to make sure you've got a little left in the tank in order to really just go crazy at it. And that's really the secrets to it. And again, practice is the key. You have to be able to know the game really inside and out in terms of what to expect, and you have to have a good teammate in order to really get the high scores. So there you have it. That, in a nutshell, is the biggest secrets here for Toy Story Midway Mania. Of course, if I missed anything that you're aware of, just go to wdwtoday.com and post it over there, and we'll share it with everyone out there, and I'll add it to the site. And of course, we'll have in the show notes a link to all these secrets that you can get to, so that way you can print them out, bring it with you to the park, and study up, and then really show up everyone who's over there, and hopefully get a great high score for us. So that's it for us today. Don't forget that this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by All-Star Vacation Homes. And you know what? After a long day of playing Toy Story Midway Mania and your arm hurts, but you know what? You have the high score. Your family acknowledges you are the awesomest player ever at Toy Story Midway Mania. Wouldn't it be great to be able to go to an all-star vacation home, sit in your own little home over there, relax in your own private pool, maybe the hot tub that they have over there. They do have hot tubs along with the pools, so you can really ice your arm down, or in this case, really, let it soothe in the nice private calm waters. No annoying kids there, unless you bring your own annoying kids, in which case you're on your own. But otherwise, you get to really enjoy all these wonderful amenities at a typical all-star vacation home. So visit them online at www.allstarvacationhomes.com. And of course, don't forget that about the WDW Today reunion. That's right. This December, WDW Today is holding a reunion event. It's going to be a fun fan gathering for everyone. You're all invited. Everyone. Doesn't matter if you've listened to 1,000, we don't have 1,000 shows. If you've listened to all 610 shows so far, or maybe someone's new in your party, maybe someone's never actually listened to the podcast before, that's great. Bring them too. It's really a celebration of people who just loved Walt Disney World, and we're holding it in December. There's actually a reunion by sea, a reunion by land, and reunion by sea is December 6th through 10th. Land is December 10th through the 14th. All the details of the events that we're going to have, and a lot more are coming down the pipeline, let me tell you, is available at wdwtoday.com/reunion. And we're going to have lots of really, really cool things. We just announced the beginning of it, but we're going to start really announcing some really cool things to come down the pipeline. So why not get signed up, come down here. I know that some people have already let me know that they're coming down, and it's great. We're looking forward to meeting all of our listeners over there. wdwtoday.com/reunion. Well, that's it for us today. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the WDW Today website at wdwtoday.com. For me, and only me, because I'm the only one who showed up today, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.